Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be all about concealers. Concealers I feel like are more important than foundations in my opinion, just because on an everyday basis I think a bit of spot concealing, especially under the eyes and around the eyes, for me is very important, and a foundation is not going to give me the coverage that a concealer will. So I've put together a list of my favourite concealers that I use currently that are brown girl friendly. They're not going to break the bank either. So let's get into the video. So I will be showing demos of the concealers that I'm talking about today, and what I tend to do every time I conceal is correct around my under eye and around my mouth first. Today I just used the NYX one, and then so one side will be with the corrector and then concealer on top, and the other side will be just with the concealer, and then you can see the difference, and it will be on my bare face, so no foundation at all, and you can see properly how the concealers work. Okay, so I'm starting off with an obvious choice. I think everyone's tried these, especially if you're anything from medium to tan to deeper skin tones. I am talking about the LA Girl Pro concealers. These are the ones that I have, and they're very cheap. That's the first thing I would say. There's a good range of colors. I personally use the pure beige because it's got a nice yellow undertone to it. It's got good coverage, it's a little bit thick. The packaging isn't great because of the brush. You know, you have to squeeze it out, comes out in clumps sometimes, and you have to sort of paint it on. I would prefer it without the brush at the end, if I'm honest. But anyway, so I use the pure beige. That's the one I use for highlighting under my eyes, but then sometimes I will mix it in with the colour fawn, and these two together work great for me. So that would be my skin colour if I want to do some spot concealing. And then the orange one I use for correcting. I usually use this mixed with my NYX dark circle corrector. So this one is a little bit too pinky salmony for me, and I need a little bit more orange, so I actually mix these two together. They're both drugstore products, very cheap, so I don't mind using two products to get the ideal colour for correcting. I just love these LA Girl Pro Conceal Correctors. I just love these concealers just because they're easier to get hold of now. You can get them, I think, on Beauty Bay. You can get them at certain high street shops now, I do find. So you can try them before you buy them. And you don't always have to Google and YouTube everything and oh, what shade is she wearing, and I'll get the same shade. You can actually try them out in store now. So highly recommend those. Now this is actually probably my favourite concealer out of all the ones that I'm talking about today, and it is the Colorpop No Filter Concealers. The shades that I have are Golden 40 and Tan 50. So again, I do have to mix two together, but because they're so cheap I don't mind having two to mix. So if I just wanted to highlight, I could use Golden 40 on its own, but then if I'm not using foundation or anything underneath and I am only using concealers to go, I will mix the two. Again, great coverage, really nice and easy to blend. I did initially think they were a little bit on the dry side, but I realized you just have to work fast with them, and I always set my concealers anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit on the dry side because I want it to set and last anyway. So I'm really happy with these. The coverage is great. I love the wand that comes with this. It's the same as another one that people talk about, which I will talk about later. I'll just tell you. It's the same as the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. The wand is great. This is my favourite type of concealer wand. I like that it's got a bend, a flex in it. It picks up a lot of product, so you can actually dip once and use it on both sides of your face. So I love that. So the only reason it's not probably number one is because it's a little bit more difficult to get hold of, only because it is a US based site that you have to order from. So we'll talk about the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. The shade I have is medium dark warm. Now this one, do have mixed feelings about this one. It's good because yes, it has some warm undertones, it's got good coverage. I don't like it obviously because it's one of the more pricier ones out of this whole collection that I'm showing you today. This is the most expensive of the lot. Now it's called medium dark warm. I don't completely agree with that description because I think it's not particularly medium dark and it's not exactly warm either. Now if you look at my Pro Conceal in Fawn, look how dark that is compared to the Urban Decay one, and you're telling me this is medium dark. So I wonder what dark actually looks like. How dark is dark, and do they cater for darker skin tones? I'm not so sure. Although it says it's warm undertone, it's not as warm as I would like. So that's the couple of things that I'm not too happy about. So the great thing about this, again, it's got that applicated same as the Colorpop, so it distributes product very nicely. It's just the shade I'm not 100% about. I just think you could try a little bit harder. This is one of the newer ones in my collection. So this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and I've got it in the shade medium deep tan. So this one is what I would use if I wasn't wearing any makeup at all. I wanted something very simple. This is what I would call like an everyday concealer. You don't even have to correct under eyes for this because it's got enough warmth in this that it doesn't look ashy afterwards. So if I was really in a rush and like I can't leave the house without at least covering my dark circles, so I would just throw this on because it's similar to my skin tone, blend it out, and I'll be happy to leave the house. Again, very affordable. It's got a standard doe foot applicator. What else can I say? I think I need to try some more shades of this. I think I need something a little bit lighter to use for highlighting purposes, but I'm really happy with this. Okay, that was it. So those were my four. Okay, that was it. So those were my top favorite concealers. I would actually say that the Pro Conceal, the Colorpop No Filter Concealer, and the Wet n Wild, that's 3 drugstore concealers right there, and these are probably my favorite. I would say this one comes fourth. So please let me know, what are your favorite concealers? Are there any that I need to try out? Are there any you would recommend, especially for dry skin? Please let me know in the comments below. I think I might do my favorite nude lipsticks next, so look out for that. Anyway, hope you all well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.